Getting on toward the end of the season. Although this is a very prolific cherry tomato. Pumpkin vines are about gone. Pepper plants are doing great actually still. Pickles are on their last leg. Excuse me. And there we have regular garden sage. So beautiful and silver. And of course the marigold they just keep going. And then there is a pineapple sage. Smells wonderful, fresh and dried. And then there we have some chocolate mint. Such an awesome smell. This is a pepper plant. We just walk down this row. Look at all the blossoms on that jalapeno. And this vine, it just blooms and blooms. See the blooms? And nothing happens. It hasn't grown anything. This is supposed to be a patio tomato. It's made a lot of tomatoes, but I'm not real impressed with the taste. So I don't know what's up with that. And then we've got tomato vines that need to come out. I'm working on it. Over here, this tomato plant is just absolutely going crazy still. Look at all the tomatoes. So I might have to think about green tomato chutney or something. And this here is my favorite cherry tomato plant. It's still just absolutely bringing on gorgeous fruit. And these pepper plants at this end of the garden didn't do much. You hear my whirligig? The moles don't like that. It vibrates down the pole, and they are not impressed. They just go away. So let's see. Pepper plants. They had tons of peppers on them, but we harvested them yesterday. But they're still beautiful and healthy looking. Look at, they're just gorgeous. I'm so thrilled with this garden. And over here, let me see if I can get close enough for you to see. Are they going to show? The sun's not hitting them right. But look at, if you can tell, beautiful red raspberries. Look at those raspberry plants. They need some love. This is my first time putting a garden out on this property. Out here in this particular area and using the weed barrier. The weed barrier is fabulous. I love it. And the pumpkin vine is just blooming and blooming. I don't know if the weather's going to stay nice enough for it to make any fruit. Over here, this one is just, that's our biggest pumpkin. I think they're like some kind of a sweet pie pumpkin of some sort. But look at this cherry vine, this cherry tomato vine. Look at that. Oh my goodness. There were quite a few red ones on here. There's a few. But someone ate most of them. It's like having a drink of tomato juice in the morning when I come out here. And they're cooled. It's chilled tomatoes for breakfast. Isn't that nice? There's a little tomato with a naughty little stink bug on it. How awful. I am not a fan of stink bugs. I'll take you over here. See, there's a few pickles still trying to do something on these poor little vines. But these are probably going to be coming out this week. We did have a bunch of them growing along here, but they're done. This is a beautiful poblano pepper plant. Let me walk around it this way. Maybe the lighting is be a little better. Beautiful poblano plants. There's only a few on there because I done harvested them. Look at this marigold. Isn't that something? It is just going. And we had a little bit of luck with the watermelons. They're supposed to stay small like this. There's some kind of a crimson sweet or something like that. Honestly, do not remember. You know how long it's been since I looked at the seed packet? We're just thankful they did something. And they're still growing. I'm thinking I might cut all this outer vine off and let it just focus. Excuse the car noise. Let it focus on ripening up these few. We've only cut one off and it was wonderful. But look at that. Isn't that crazy for a marigold? It's gorgeous. We love it. And that's the row where our zucchini squash and crookneck squash were, the outer row. And this inner row here is where the cantaloupe were. Underwhelmed by the cantaloupe, just gonna say. They didn't do much, so they weren't happy here. We'll have to find a different... Well, I'm gonna be trying them in Kentucky. We'll be moved to Kentucky probably within the next 7 to 10 days. And this huge tomato plant, well, there's more than one there, is pineapple tomatoes. Look at that pretty tomato. They were planted late, so they didn't get to be over there where all the propping up and stuff was. They didn't get a whole lot of love, I'll have to admit it. But they seem to be doing good. And here's the okra. Is it okra or okra? And it's still blooming and giving us yummy okra. I love it. Here's a little one coming on. I'll be picking that one in a couple days. I love fresh okra first thing in the morning. We have a nice row of it. And those empty spots are where the eggplants were. And we tried to grow some corn, but was not successful. That's a really nice looking okra plant there. This marigold needs all the seed pods taken off of it. I probably should save a bunch of those, shouldn't I? Yeah, that's probably what's going to have to happen. Because I really like how they show out so big and pretty. And not sure why, but the pepper plants at this end of the garden haven't really gotten very big. But they have produced quite a few peppers. And are still, as you can see, still producing peppers. Look at all those. Goodness. And here too. Oh, that was shadowed. Those are bell peppers. They're kind of small, but they've been good. Oh, look at this here pineapple, tomato. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Okay. Another pepper plant of some sort. Should have done this before all of those were harvested, but we're still getting lots of blooms still. Let's see, let me shadow that a second so that will show. Oh, isn't that sweet? So beautiful. I enjoy plants in every stage. You know, the blooms. This plant has nice big peppers on it still because we're waiting for them to turn pretty colors. Let's see, I don't see where the tag is. Oh my goodness. Look how that pepper has wrapped around that vine. Oh my word. That's gonna have a cool shape. Nice. Here we go. There's some big pretty peppers. Oh, that one looks like it might be thinking about changing colors. That's supposed to be a yellow bell. And this one here is supposed to be an orange bell when it gets around to changing. Here we are, back to the hot poblanos. I left some on here. Look at the size of this baby. Isn't that pretty? Such a dark green. And then there's another one right there. And of course, blooms and blooms and blooms. Lots and lots of blooms. Would be very blessed if they actually produce fruit. Today is the 1st of October, 2021. So, there's still okra coming. There's still peppers coming. And of course, pineapple tomatoes coming. Watermelon. I think there's one in there that's ready. And look here. Isn't that sweet? There's a pickle bloom. Pickles are still blossoming. You know, the bees are still busy. Anyway. And there's a nice, gorgeous row of bell peppers. This whole row is bell peppers. Look here. Aren't they pretty? And here's a close-up of a pumpkin bloom. They're starting to curl back a little bit already. And they got a little bit of that, oh, silver dusting of something other. I can't remember the name of it right now. Oh, and look at this vine. Isn't that a beautiful tomato vine? Needs some love, and I've been so busy packing I haven't been able to spend a whole lot of time out here in the garden. But we're still getting babies and blooms. Here's a tiny tomato bloom. Let's see, are we going to get a focus? And if you notice, all the twine tying up these tomato plants, it's been a lifesaver. Come off of the bales of hay from where we're feeding the cows. This one here, isn't that just the most, that is such a healthy looking tomato plant. Wow. And here we go over here. This row, this first row is Roma. And they have completely outdone themselves. Completely. Look at here. Look at the amount of, look at all those Romas. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's still making little ones, and it's still blooming. Let me see there. There we go. And we planted marigolds in with them. See? So, let me get over this way. There's some dark orange ones. And there's some more Romas. Just doing their thing. Doing what God meant for tomatoes to do. Growing. Now this here is what's called ice cherry tomatoes. They're very mild. And they're still just busy growing. Making pretty tomatoes. There's not any ripe ones on there. They turn a very pale yellow. Oh, look at this marigold. Wow. Look at all those Roma tomatoes on that plant. The plant's about done, but it has got a lot of tomatoes on it. So we have almost 2 full rows of Romas in this one, this section. See, I hung a red Christmas ornament out here before the tomatoes started turning red. There's more than one. There's they're through the garden. See, there's one, but they're not red anymore. Between the sun and the rain, they're not red anymore. Oh, Trixie, you gonna come join Mommy in the garden, pretty girl? Yeah, you thinking about it? Well, you know the opening is over here. Pretty girl. Hi. Hi, most gorgeous kitty in the world. Are you going to push your way through? Seriously? Come on. Let's go down here where the opening is. Come on, kitty. That little marigold has bounced back. I thought it was about done, but it has bounced back in a big way. Absolutely gorgeous. So, let me step back. This is the garden. We're very thrilled with it. A little bit of shade tree. That was a very huge lifesaver when I was out here working in the hot garden. Hey, baby girl. Hey, Miss Trixie. Kitty, kitty. What are you gonna do? Huh? Mommy's about done in the garden. Here's some fencing we've already taken down that we used to vine up pickles on. There's another whirligig. I was going to show you right here, just outside of the garden. We had a tarp on the ground with a bunch of old mulch and stuff that my daughter, they cleaned out of their garden last year. And look at here at this volunteer squash plant. And it has made so much squash. It's starting to fade. And get the dust of, I don't know, mold dust or whatever. But it's still just blooming and making fruit. Got some coming there. And they are huge. When they're huge, it's like a great big massive yellow. But see here, look at this beautiful mulch. And there was quite a few volunteer tomato plants, but since it's not in the garden, they weren't protected. Let's just walk around here and take a look at this side of it. Oh, there's one that has blossom rot. See that? We'll get that out of there. Yeah, blossom rot. But I think we have a deer that has found our plot, this little volunteer bit of vine. There's another blossom rot. Let's get that off of there. Let's see. She's always got to be by me, and I love it. Isn't she beautiful? That's the road out there. This is where our property line is. And that's the neighbor's field. They're letting it grow up, which is kind of nice. I love it. And if you keep going on around, this is a big wild cherry. Look at that. And a mulberry. Got wild cherry and mulberry here on the property line. Are you waiting for me to come give you some food? Did you already eat it all? You know I done fed you once this morning, silly girl. Oh, look. A tomato made it. We haven't tried to mess with these tomatoes out here. We've just left them for the deer and whoever else shows up for a little bit of a munch. Gave that little car to my daughter. I think we have a grandson that might be interested in the blue truck. Look what we have growing in the edge of the woods here. Isn't that gorgeous? And of course we got raspberry plants, wild raspberries. We've got wild raspberries and wild blackberries, all along the tree line, the whole length of the property. There's a little over 2 acres here. So the property is like 200 foot wide by 400 feet deep. And we have a brush pile here that never did get chipped. So that'll be up to the next people that live here. They'll have a head start on getting chipping done. Wonder what this is. That's a different kind of plant. I have no idea what it is. And there is some poison ivy. And more of that silver-leafed stuff. And of course, chokeberries. Lots of chokeberries. Oh, there's a bunch of that stuff blooming back up in there. No idea what it is, but that's okay. If we were going to be continuing to live here, I would definitely figure it out. And here we go. This is kind of like a wild tasting dill. You can see the little pods. Those little pods are delicious. It's just like eating a piece of tart dill. Let's see. All right, we're going to get some focus. The leaves are very good. The pods are very good. I imagine every bit of it's good. I'm going to have to try it. Oh yeah. Very yum. Well, there's the back of the property. The house doesn't look it, but it is yellow. It's not white. And there's the trailer ready to go. Lynn is leaving today, taking another load to Kentucky. There's the stock trailer. We'll be taking our mama cow and the 2 babies and that, plus probably all of the chickens and ducks. I don't know how much we can fit in there. And there's the big, gorgeous pole barn. And of course, the wood pile that's necessary when you want to run a wood burner. So, well, I'm going to get off of here. Say goodbye to Trixie, because of course she stays right by me when I'm out here. She's our outdoor cat. Hi, beautiful. Look at those markings. I have no idea what that's looking like. Goodbye. Maybe we should do it this way. How about this? Oh, there we go.